Isn't this the most difficult thing to do? To know where to start. And with what? Not always. Sometimes it's harder knowing when to stop. In the process of creating music, we often make loops. A simple 4-bar pattern that becomes just one part of a larger facet. A definite beginning, but not necessarily the start. I mean, how often do we write the first note of the first beat of the first bar before we write anything else? Not that often, I would suggest. Intros are often an afterthought, and our opening gambit, that 4-bar loop, discarded. Destined to be resigned, the version 1 project file that somehow seemed worth saving, yet will probably never be listened to again. So, where is the start truly? Where is the end? When is the end? How many times has this loop cycled around? Will it ever end? This is a puzzling paradox of music production, and the reason we ask ourselves the question. Isn't this the most difficult thing to do? To know where to start. And with what? Not always. Sometimes it's harder knowing when to stop.
Hi guys, welcome to Unknown Audio. Hot on the heels of my last sample pack, I've just put out my newest sample pack. It's part of the Contours range, which is designed to help you build the landscape of your music compositions. The first volume of Contours is Cyclic. And this is all loop based. So these are drum loops, full drum loops. There's hi-hat loops, shaker loops. We've got kick snare loops. I've got, what else? There's some weird loops, distorted, morphing, strange loops. There's over 180 loops in total. It's out now. Today we're going to take a look at using some of these loops and try and make something. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around and we'll see what we can come up with. Let's jump over to the build of the music. Yeah, the music build. Okay, why not? I want to use this one. This is the fastest tempo, but it's, like I say, it's half time. Okay, well that's what we're going to work with today. So we'll start there. We'll see where we end up. Might be somewhere completely different by the end of the day, but we'll see. Let's drag this into our project. Where do we go with this though? That's the question. Where do we take this? Let's just work on this little intro part. It's a bit more mid-range. You cut the lows and the highs a bit. Let's try and make it real kind of squashed in, and maybe we'll add something melodic to this. I was going to try and stick with just using the samples from the drum loops, but I feel like throwing in like some kind of ARP or something on a synth. Let's do that. I don't have to stick to just using the sample pack. I'm making this piece of music. I can do whatever I want. Can't I? I haven't used pigments for a while. Let's use pigments. Okay, I like that. little note in there. Whoa. I'm going to use the tremolo, 8th notes. A bit more fluttery. I might automate some of these macros in pigments. Okay. Tell you what we could do that would be interesting. Because I'm trying to use this loop sample pack, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different loop and sidechain it to this RP synth thing that we've just come up with to give it a gated rhythm based on that different loop. If we go to about half the tempo, have I got anything at 94? I should have something in the region. At least I've got this. Okay, what else we've got? Okay, this is very wonky and off time, and I like that, so I might try this and we'll just we'll see what happens. Here we're going to have a noise gate. I'm going to set the sidechain input for Nuff Wonk. I'm not getting enough definition there, so what I think I might do, I might use a transient shaper. I may even use a noise gate on this as well to get it a bit more staccato and rhythmical. Get the sustain right down. Let's put this pump up as well. There we go. Not convinced. Let's try one of the other loops. I don't know. Okay, why not? We'll see what happens. That's kind of cool. Maybe we like that. Maybe we like that in there. Okay. Stereo output. We'll bring. Yeah, that's nice actually. What else do you want in here? Okay, let's pick another loop at random. Let's go for, maybe let's try one of these weird loops. Okay. Chop out some random. Let's pitch this around. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, sure, why not some weird layered thing. Let's put some rift on it. Let me take a sip of coffee first though. Okay. Just going to try some of the presets. Ooh. I like that. Yeah, I'm vibing. tail on there. We will, I think I'm going to be chopping that and reversing it and using it in various ways. Okay, I might throw a half time on here and I might do a sort of 50-50 mix. That's kind of cool. What did I do? What the hell? What is going on? Right. Oh, look, there's my new sample pack. Okay, where is that sound coming from? I like it. Where is it coming from? Ah. Look, Mum, no computer. Okay, good. Right. Back here. Let's move everything down a bit. Let's reverse this reverb tail. I think this is going to sound quite nice. Let's see what that sounds like coming in. Nice. Yeah, something like that. Maybe if I take a little bit of these drums or something. That's kind of cool. Right, and I feel like we need a little snare in there, so I want like a sort of a rim shot type thing. Maybe. Okay, let's drag this in. I'm not sure I like it. Let's try frequency shift in it. Let's see if that improves things. I think I prefer that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, clean that up a bit. I feel like maybe we need a little bit of delay on this. I'm going to use cluster delay from Minimal Audio. I'm loving Minimal Audio's plugins recently. Rift is just it's just a delight to use. Let's try some of the presets. Rhythmic. That's cool. That's kind of cool. I've got to stop saying kind of cool, haven't I? Okay, I still feel like this is too bright and maybe too bassy as well. I say it's too bright, but there's nothing above about, what, 7K or something? Anyway. Yeah, I feel like we need to amp up the energy there a bit. Maybe we need a little melody part or something. So let's make an instrument out of one of the other loops. Okay, I quite like those weird little noises in there. Let's take this one. You know what? I really like that snare as well. I think I might use that snare later in the drop section. I think I want this little sound here. Okay, it sounds a bit puny at the moment, but nothing wrong with starting off a bit puny. You can always muscle up and get swole. Okay, that's cool. Let's clip the shit out of it. It's got a nice percussive element, this. We may not want it too percussive. I could use sonable entropy, which will basically allow you to remove either the transients in a sound or the tonal content of a sound. So there we're getting into a drum territory. And if we bring it the other way, We're just left more with the actual tonal element. Let's just roll with that. Put flex on. Let's go to, maybe let's use one of these weird ones. Let's see what happens when I do this. Let me put the tuner back on here. What? Make your mind up. Is it in E or C sharp? Let's throw it into a sampler. I don't know, maybe just a semitone motif like that. Went the wrong way. I meant to go not down up, I meant to go up down. Never mind. Let's okay, it still sounds a bit crap at the moment. That's better, right. Right, we need to make this sound better now. Another trick that I like to do with making sounds quite stereo, if we go to pitch shifter, now you'll see here, if you've never used this before, I highly recommend checking it out. You've got stereo, but you've also got this dual mono option. If you come to dual mono, you'll see in the plugin here, you've got a left and a right, and you can adjust these independently of each other. So you can adjust the left independently of the right. What I want to do is I want to bring the fine tuning down, push this to 100% mix. Also, we can change the timing here. So let's do manual. Let's be quite slow on this one. So we're also kind of giving it a slight Hass effect at the same time. And this one we want to go up. Now, so without, with. So I think that's quite cool. That's a bit better. Still think it sounds crap. I'm going to put maybe a bit of a chorusy effect on here. I'm going to put some delay on here. I'm going to use tape delay. That's kind of cool. I feel like it's maybe a bit too high pitched. Let's try half time again. Let's use Rift minimal audio again. It's better. Right. Bounce those in place. Let's use this dual mono thing again. I'm going to go to Baby Audio Pitch Drift. I kind of want this sort of warbly and weird. Let's use Yum Audio Flux Light. You know what I'm thinking? This is too wide. Before we go to the drop here, I'm going to move on from the intro. I'm still not liking this, something about this melodic thing that I don't quite like. I don't know what it is. I'm going to move on. I feel like we need a build up. So before we do the build up, let's just do a bit of housekeeping. What colour are we feeling today? That'll do, whatever. Yeah, why not? I'm going to use this snare for a build up. I'm going to duplicate this layer. On this other one, I'm going to turn the delay off. Actually, let's get rid of the plugin altogether. Maybe. Right. Okay, I've just heard something. For this melodic thing, I might try reversing the sounds. A bit of a fade in, a little bit of a fade out. Quite like the way that breaks just to the snare there. I kind of feel like I want this to slow down in tempo. So 94, and now if we use this, okay. That's kind of cool. Right, bounce this in place. Copy this over. That's cool. Let's stick some OTT on it. And I feel like maybe the sort of hi-hat sound in this is a bit distracting. Bounce that in place. Let's try and mimic what we did before. So what was half of this? 94. And do that, something like that. Okay, that's kind of what I was going for. We need something to help us into this transition here, and I want to do something to this synth sound there. Let's go with Rift again. Let's see if we can get something cool happening. That's cool. Just want to automate these a little bit. Latch. Okay, that'll do for that one. And we'll do a similar thing for this one. And if we do the sort of opposite for this thing. Alright, let's bring this sound back in. Let's see what we can do with that. Maybe, I reckon just a simple sort of fade out on that would be good. It sounds a bit like the TARDIS noise from Doctor Who. Is that what it is? Something like that. Maybe if we put some reverb on there as well. let's drop this down here. It's better. Let's reverse this. Let's have lots of reversey stuff. Okay, that drop sounds a bit pathetic now, doesn't it? But we will get to that. Okay, bounce that in place. I'm going to use this to try and help with these transitions. Maybe we need some sort of an impact here. I'm going to be a bit cheeky and use an impact from my other sample pack. Yeah, that's cool. Why not? Too many low frequencies. Cool. Right. Okay. Let's work on the drop a bit. I'm going to bring in a kick sound. Let's find something that's a bit, got some nice power to it. Yeah, I like that. I'm tempted to use the hi-hats from this as well. Let's work on the kick. Right, why is that sounding so... Is this because we're slamming it into here? I think it is, isn't it? Right. Right, let's make this more choppy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to have one without the lows in. We're going to have one with all the lows. Let's chuck a riff on here. I might try and make a cool bass line out of it. That's kind of cool. For this build-up section, I want to bring some of these weird kind of synthy sounds. Copy this bit because it's nice and bassy. And let's stretch this out and let's put a slow down instead of a fade out. Okay, that's kind of cool. Right, let's bring Rift back onto here and we'll do some more processing. Even just the same preset sounds good. Keep the sub a little cleaner maybe. Okay, let's bring back in this other sound. Is that the one? No, I don't think that was it, was it? Maybe we'll bounce that in place. Let's reverse this sound and move this over. We'll have this kind of fading in at the end of the bar, maybe. Okay, cool. Maybe let's use some phaser. Use some sample delay and we'll delay the left and right independently. We may need to do some a bit of mixing to try and get these elements sitting more neatly together. Let's put a track spacer on here and let's just side chain it with the kick. These jungly sounds, I want them a bit more audible. Feedback light on here. And what we could try doing as well is to bring back in these synth moments. Yeah, okay, let's bounce that in place. Cool, I'm gonna say that's good for the time being. Let's go and take Jake out for a walk and I'll see you in a bit. Hi guys, so I'm back after a walk with some fresh ears, had a listen to this. I've just done a little bit of tweaking to the intro part, not too much. I've taken out these snares in this build-up part here. I took this reverse or this slow down drum part and I reversed it so it kind of reverses in as well, or it speeds up like that. I think I took out these kind of heavy synthy sounds and I put this little reverse thing in here that I use in the drop. Just to clean it up a little bit, I just want to do a little bit where these two bits of drums come in. They're a bit abrupt and I'm going to put a volume fade. Let's do the same here. Maybe I need one little sound on the transition point, maybe a cymbal or something. Let's find a ride loop maybe. Make it the right colour. Okay, that's kind of a bit crap on its own. Let's put a bit of delay. Let's go baby audio, come back kid. Bit of supermassive, why not? Cool, and I suppose what we might as well do is bounce that in place and we might as well reverse it in for good measure. These I want a bit more in your face. Some transient shaping. Look, we're slamming this a bit. Select all of these. We're going to bring the gain down.
just cut through a bit more, throw some distortion on it. We'll use rift again, drum heat, that's what we want. We'll sidechain this to the kick. We'll put it on ducker mode. I think I'm nearly ready to call this a day, but one thing I am going to do, I think, is I'm going to use one more loop, and I'm going to use it as a little fill or break or something at maybe the end of a phrase. Could do. Have a little ragtech kind of, I don't know, it might work, it might work. It might not, but it might work. Gotta double time this. Transient shaper. Okay, just quickly, I've just changed a few things here. I've just muted some of these, well, deleted some of these stabs, these kind of synthy stabs. Kept them in the second half. I've added another version of rift onto the bass sound. A bit aggressive, so I'm going to tone it back a bit. Maybe something like that. Right, let's try a little halftime on these weird atmospheric sort of swells. Maybe 2 lots of halftime. I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to work on this track a little bit. I'm not going to record it. I've recorded way too much footage already. I want to polish this up maybe a little bit and give you a final playthrough. So yeah, I'll be back instantaneously. Hi guys, so before I play you this, I'll just let you know this has changed a little bit. I'll just very quickly show you this sound, which is kind of like a chord stab. I was trying to make something, you know, a pre-drop thing, and it ended up making these kind of old school rave stabs like that. So I decided to go proper old school, brought in like an old school sounding bass. So the first bit of the drop has got that old school flavour. I won't spoil any more of it for you. Let's just have a listen. Let's jump in. Hopefully it demonstrates the fun you could be having with my new loop pack. I've enjoyed it anyway, so hopefully you do too. But let's take a listen. Well, there you go, guys. That's a little demonstration of my new sample pack, the drum loop sample pack called Cyclic, part of the Contours range. I will be having more volumes of that particular sample pack out in due course at some point. It's got a lot of work, so yeah, they will be coming at some point. But right now you can go and get your hands on Cyclic. At the link below, there is a free version and a fully featured paid version. The full version has over 180 sounds, different loops, and the free version, I forget, I think there's around 45 sounds, something like that. So, you know, not bad for you know, zero moolah up front. But yeah, anyway, I hope you appreciate that. I hope that you can make some use of these loops. And, you know, if you go and make something with these, I'd love to hear what you're doing. As always, guys, hope you have fun creating. Love you lots, and I'll see you real soon. Peace out.
In the process of creating music, we often make loops. A simple 4-bar pattern that becomes just one part of a larger facet. A definite beginning, but not necessarily the start. I mean, how often do we write the first note of the first beat of the first bar before we write anything else? Not that often, I would suggest. Intros are often an afterthought, and our opening gambit, that 4-bar loop, discarded. Destined to be resigned to the version 1 project file that somehow seemed worth saving, yet will probably never be listened to again.
So, where is the start, truly? Where is the end? When is the end? How many times has this loop cycled around? Will it ever end? This is a puzzling paradox of music production, and the reason we ask ourselves the question:
Isn't this the most difficult thing to do?
to know where to start, and with what? Not always. Sometimes it's harder knowing when to stop.
In the process of creating music, we often make loops. A simple 4-bar pattern that becomes just one part of a larger facet. A definite beginning, but not necessarily the start. I mean, how often do we write the first note of the first beat of the first bar before we write anything else? Not that often, I would suggest. Intros are often an afterthought, and our opening gambit, that 4-bar loop, discarded. Destined to be resigned to the version 1 project file that somehow seemed worth saving, yet will probably never be listened to again.
So, where is the start, truly? Where is the end? When is the end? How many times has this loop cycled around? Will it ever